The high school I used to go to is in Georgia. These are our senior shirts, so I felt like it was only fit to wear it for this video because I'm talking about all of senior year and why my senior year has gone from here to here very, very fast. Hey guys, what's up? It's Maddie and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be a story time on why I'm a high school dropout. Technically not clickbait, but it's also a little bit of clickbait. A little bit of a disclaimer, I'm not shading like any of the schools here or my old school or any of the people that I talk to. I'm just giving my personal opinion on my experience. I bet these people are not bad people, it's just how I feel. I just made a new intro and I'm wearing like the same shirt and everything that I was in it, so it's probably at the beginning of this video. And make sure you comment down below and tell me if you like it or not, because I'm kind of sketch on it. This all started because my family was moving. We moved at the very beginning, like first 2 weeks of November, and I was moving back to South Alabama. So I thought it was going to be a very simple school change. I was going to unenroll at my old school and then re-enroll in a school here. That is not what happened. The last few days I was at my school, I got all of my official transcripts, I got my schedule, my grades, my release forms, I got everything I needed to do to go here. And since I was leaving without my mom, I got my birth certificate, my social security card, my insurance, everything like that. I had everything I could possibly need to enroll here. Now, my understanding is that I'm 18 years old. I can unenroll myself from a school, so why can't I enroll myself in school? You know? It makes sense. Well, in Alabama, the legal age is 19. You are not a legal adult until you are 19, which means I cannot legally enroll myself in school. And my mom did not move down here with me, so my mom had to move down here, which she was planning on moving down here, but she had to get down here fairly quickly so that she could enroll me in school. The first week I was here, I went up to the school with the family I'm staying with, and they told me that there was no possible way that I would graduate on time. But keep in mind, at my old school, I had very good grades. I was taking AP and college classes, and I was always a very good student. Like, I worked very, very hard to be in school and to do well in school. So, going up there, I gave the registrar at the school I was trying to get into my official transcript, and she looked at it and she said, "You don't have career prep. Require you to have career prep to graduate." And I was like, okay, then put me in career prep, I'll take it, I'll graduate. And she said, "No, you're not gonna have enough time, you're missing this class and that class and blah 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 blah." And I'm just looking at my transcript like, I could have graduated already at my old school. I could have graduated a semester early, and now you're telling me that I'm gonna be a junior in high school and I'm gonna have to do a whole nother year of this. Basically what had happened and how she was trying to explain it to me is that I've taken 4 Englishes, 4 science, 4 math, for everything I'm supposed to have, but they're not the same classes they require here. So for instance, at my old school, we required for literature, you had to have 9th grade lit, 10th grade lit, American Lit, and Brit Lit, and you could substitute those with college classes. So I substituted American Lit and Brit Lit with college classes. Well, here they have the college class thing, but it's not the same thing, so it didn't count, which meant like I was basically 2 years behind. I talked to people about it and it just didn't make much sense because there was another girl that came to enroll a few days before me and she was perfectly fine. So she was also a senior, so it just didn't really make sense. And in my opinion, the lady I was talking to treated me very rudely at first. Like, she was talking to me and she basically just kept saying like there was no way I would graduate on time and that I just needed to go back to my school in Georgia to graduate. And I just felt like really hurt by that. Like, I started crying just because high school is like my dream. Like, I want to graduate high school. So I started crying, so that was a lot. But how I felt was like she was just like attacking me, and for circumstances, the reasons I had to move, like I couldn't go back to Georgia, so it was very hurtful hearing her say that. What I meant by her being rude is that she wasn't making an effort to really help me. She just kept saying like, "You're not gonna graduate on time, like just figure it out on your own." Like, that's how I felt. It's not that she was just telling me the rules. It was that she wasn't attempting to help me. I left that day. My mom wasn't down here yet. I was very discouraged. I was like, fine, oh well, I'll figure it out. So my mom's still not down here, and I decide I'm going to email the principal of the school. And I emailed the principal long before I even went up there, but supposedly he didn't read it according to the lady I talked to. But basically the email said, I had to move here because blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna like say why I had to move, just it's very personal, but I'm moved here because blah 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 blah. And my mom could not come with me for very family type situations, and I really just want to get enrolled in high school. I'm willing to do all the work that I need to do to graduate on time. If you put me in classes, I will get them done. Like, I will graduate on time. Like, I know I can do this. It was this very, very, very long email. I probably won't put it on the screen because it's very personal, but it was a very long email. And when I went in there, I told her that I emailed the principal, and she didn't even like attempt to explain to the principal my situation, which was very like hurtful to me. By the time I get an email back, it's Christmas break. Like, where they're about to start a new semester. So I get an email back and they tell me that I can come on January 4th, and that's when I can enroll, but I have to have my mom with me. So I'm like, okay, cool, like my mom would be down here by then, so I will go up there on January 4th and enroll. So I go up there with my mom, and I told her like, hey, we're here to enroll. I've talked to the registrar and the principal, and I was told that I can come today to enroll. So one of the office ladies like hands us a computer and tells us that it's online. So my mom's kind of upset because she's like, I have to be at work right now. Like, why couldn't I just do the stuff from home if all of it's online? Like, it didn't make any sense. Because the idea that the principal and the registrar had for me was to do all of my school online, which I was completely fine with because I have a job and stuff, so it worked for me. So I told the lady, I was like, hey, I'm supposed to be doing online school. I've talked to the principal and I've talked to the registrar, so what do I need to do? They didn't look at my birth certificate. They didn't look at anything. So we leave the school and I start thinking about it, and I'm like, did I even enroll? Like, am I in school? Because after we were leaving, she just gave me a phone number and told me to call them whenever I got home. So I called this virtual school that I was supposed to be doing online classes through and then graduating at the school that I was trying to get into. And I call her and I'm like, hey, I just applied for the virtual school and she told me to call you after I did. And the ladies like start talking to me and like figuring things out, and she asked me what grade I'm in, and I'm like, I'm a senior, and she's like, oh, we're not accepting seniors the spring semester. And so at this point I'm just pretty furious because I just did all this work for pretty much no reason, because they're not even accepting seniors, and the whole point of me doing this virtual school is because I'm a senior that can't graduate high school on time. So it just didn't make any sense to me. And then the more I looked into it, they're closing for the seniors on the virtual school isn't like until January 12th or the 22nd. I don't remember which date it is, but that was really frustrating to me because I was told that I could only do virtual school to graduate, and now I can't. So then me and Bailey's dad start getting very, very upset about this. So we start calling the school board and the superintendent and everyone, and we're talking to almost everyone we can about this. And I was told by one of the ladies that I talked to that I needed to go back up to the high school and I needed to talk to the senior counselor and see if they could make some sort of schedule out of my official transcript. She told me not to leave until they make a transcript, or not a transcript, till they make a schedule that will fit for me. And if they can't make a schedule at all, then that's when I need to call her back. I talked to my friend Bailey because she goes to the school there, and I was like, hey, can you get me an appointment with a senior counselor? Because she's pretty close with like all the counselors and stuff there. So I was like, can you get me an appointment with a senior counselor? And then the senior counselor is going to be out for a week. They're going to be like, they're gonna have a sub for a week. And I'm like, seriously, this is my luck. Like, of course the counselor's gonna be out for a week. So I went up there anyway, and I talked to the principal there. And at this point, my mom, like I said, she's already down here. But my mom and I don't live under the same roof. My mom lives a city over from where I live, and the cities are pretty close together, but she lives a city over. And I went in there to talk to the principal, and he told me that the reason they could not enroll me is because my mom and I do not live in the same city, and mostly we do not live under the same roof, which slightly makes sense. But when we were filling out all the online stuff, one of the check boxes was like, are you a parent and a kid that don't live under the same roof? And my mom put yes. So why would that be an option if they're going to tell us that I can't go to the school because my mom and I don't live together? And I'm 18, so like, it just doesn't make sense, because in Georgia I could easily enroll and unenroll myself, but here it's like, it's this giant predicament, and it's so annoying. The principal told me, he said, well, I cannot enroll you at this school because you do not live with your mom in this city. What I can do is I can talk to the principal at the high school in the city that your mom lives in, and you could enroll in that school, go to that school, graduate from that school, but you'll do all of your work at our high school. And I'm thinking, if I can do this because my mom and I don't live under the same roof, why can't I go to this high school, graduate from the same high school that I'm attending in May, like, and my mom lives there, I live here, but I go to the same school and I do everything at the same school. It doesn't make sense why I have to enroll at the school that in the city that she lives in, because I don't live there. It makes zero sense at all. So right now, what is mostly going on is that I'm going to enroll at this school that I've never stepped foot in my life. I'm going to graduate in May from a school that I've never attended, but I'm going to do all the online schoolwork and everything I have to do at the high school that I want to go to. Does that make any sense whatsoever? I don't think that makes any sense. My mom doesn't think it makes any sense. Bailey doesn't think it makes any sense. No one thinks this makes sense. But apparently, according to these two principals, this idea makes sense. So currently, I'm waiting on the ladies at this other high school to come up with some schedule that will work for me. But it's just so frustrating because I could have done all of this in the first week I got here, and it has been 4 months. 4 months since I've been enrolled in school. I left my school like around Halloween time, and it is now almost February. Like, how hard is it to get a kid that actually wants to graduate enrolled in school? It should not be this hard. Honestly, I think what we're going to do is, I really don't want to graduate from a high school I've never gone to. They're going to call my name at graduation, and kids are going to be like, who is she? Like, I'm going to be like, who is she? Like, I don't know any of these kids. So I think what we're going to do is, like, my mom is trying to move to the city, like, here anyway. So we're probably just going to, like, try to get myself into this other school so I can graduate with these kids I grew up with. From these kids are kids I went to elementary and middle school with. Like, I'm graduating with kids I grew up with. Like, that's what I want to do. And they're just not letting me go to this high school. It just doesn't make any sense because I went to elementary and middle school here. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. At this point, I started crying for like 5 minutes because I was really emotional because this has just been a big ordeal and I really want to get enrolled in school. So I took like a 5-minute break and I cried. That's it for today's video. I thought this video was going to be really long, but I think I also talked really fast, so I apologize in advance if I did. I really hope you enjoyed this story time. It honestly was a nice stress reliever for me just to like get all of this off my chest, and I thought it would be really interesting to you guys. With all that being said, if you like this week's video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. I guess if you're a high school dropout, maybe we can be friends. I don't know. But if you're not subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, and I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!